toute l'info.
As the COVID-19 takes a toll in Cameroon, regional authorities make screening obligatory for every visitor at the entrance into capital cities. Users of PATYCHOU Vita for sports purpose will also have to kill their calories elsewhere as the sports structure is temporarily shut down. Voters go to the polls Sunday to elect MPs for partial election rerun in 10 constituencies in the northwest and 1 in the southwest regions, following the Constitutional Council's decision calling for the elections in the 11 constituencies for irregularities and fraud. Plus, the International Day of Forests is commemorated in Cameroon with the donation of 100 tree seedlings by Elise Ngomzap, a locality in the Central region for Cameroon. And those are top stories. Thanks for joining us on the 7:30 News. I'm Gladys Tata. Over 3,000 passengers traveling to the northwest region have been tested negative of the coronavirus at Matazem Center, one of the main entry points to the northwest region. Public health officials in the region say the move is also aimed at sensitizing the population on prevention measures against the pandemic. Eric Langmia-Wufo reports from Bamenda.
This year at the Matazem Center toll gate that all the travelers entering the northwest are screened of the coronavirus infection.
We did not preview that they were going to screen us, but I think it's a very, very good and very necessary exercise.
If people are infected in Douala, for example myself, and I'm going to Bamenda, and I'm going to meet my family, how is it going to be? So this checkpoint here, at least it is revealing something.
We left Yaoundé when we heard that there is a virus in Yaoundé. At the checkpoint, they tested us. We were negative.
The Northwest has not had any suspected case as of now, but health officials insist sensitizing the public is of absolute necessity.
We want people to be aware of all the WHO measures that they are expected to respect so that they don't get infected with coronavirus or they don't transmit to other persons. The second thing is that we want to look for risk factors. So we are screening them for temperature.
On the first day of the operation, over 3,000 persons have been screened so far.
Fortunately, we've not been able to get a suspected case yet. If we had a suspected case, there's an ambulance that is stationed there that would take this case directly to the regional hospital in Bamenda.
The public health officials in the northwest region say the operation that will run throughout the day will last for 14 days, renewable.
The East Regional Delegation for Public Health who traveled to Garabulai has saluted efforts made by the local population to respect measures put in place by government to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The delegation was accompanied to the town that shares boundary with the Central African Republic by the Divisional Officer of Garabulai, DM Jam Lawrence. Tala LT has more from our East Regional Bureau in Bertua.
This is Cameroon's main border with the landlocked Central African Republic in the town of Garabulai in the East region. The border is closed as prescribed by the government, but for trucks transporting basic commodities into the country before entering into Cameroonian soil, these drivers have to undergo a scrupulous health check by a special team posted to the area by the Garabulai District Hospital. The hospital, on its part, has prepared a special ward where suspected cases of the COVID-19 coronavirus will be kept for observation and eventual treatment. East Regional Delegate of Public Health, in an inspection visit to the town, did not fail to appreciate the preventive measures put in place while calling for vigilance and the full respect of government measures.
After our visit, we are satisfied because we see how they organize the sensitization, we see the activities in the border health post and also in the district hospital. The authorities are very implicated in all the action, and health professionals are ready to fight against this coronavirus.
The delegate went on to call on the health personnel of the border town of Garabulai to continue educating the population on the gravity of this pandemic and how it can be prevented.
Sanitary measures taken by the government to preempt the spread of COVID-19 has been affecting the planning of funeral events. The director of the Lakentini Hospital has signed a release restricting the number of people to 10 to take part until further notice. Gloria Wikomnize reports from CRTV Douala.
We are at the Lakentini Hospital mortuary this Friday morning, a day hundreds of people to take out the remains of their loved ones. But all we observe are the 4 waiting rooms, which normally contains 120, 90 and 30 people, are just 10 chairs for each family. The rest are stacked at the corner, and security guards are watching to ensure that only 10 persons are grouped as a family. To access a corpse removal of whosoever, one is required to obtain a card with the name of the deceased as received by the hospital management to confirm relation. Police officers and security agents posted outside the mortuary scrupulously ensure the compliance with the instructions given by the director of the facility.
To put a corpse in his coffin, we now only admitted 10 persons because we don't want the virus to be disseminated.
Among the people chosen by the families figure prominently the ministers of religion. So there are only 9 places left for the family members. A difficult equation for the bereaved who are outnumbered, not forgetting the necessity to carry the coffin. The director has advised the families on the strategic choice for the persons authorized to take part in the ritual so as to spare them the constraints. The coronavirus is indeed a reality in Cameroon, and paying homage to the dead also has to be in compliance with the rules and regulations put in place by the government.
Over in the Adamawa region, passengers of railway, airports and bus agencies in Gaundare are being made to respect measures taken by government by washing their hands with soap and strategic points at keeping the social distance of 1 meter from one another. Officials of the railway station and bus agencies have also limited the number of people as well as on the aircraft. Silas Nkwan reports from Gaundare.
The ticket counter is open at the Gaundare railway station, but there are lesser number of passengers than the previous day. The 13 coronavirus guidelines released by the government to contain its outbreak are in fact being scrupulously observed here and at the various bus travel agencies across Gaundare, with the passengers washing their hands and keeping a distance of at least 1 meter behind each other, and managers limiting the number of travelers per vehicle. Each and every one of us has a critical role to play in stopping the spread.
We have seen many people out there in France, in China, everywhere. They are still wearing this mask. We should be afraid because it's a deadly virus.
Health officials in the region have also expressed their readiness to check the corona pandemic and to save lives.
We are ready to take care of a suspect case. We have the building for isolation, the material for protection for personnel and for patients.
Corona guidelines have also taken effect at the Gaundare airport, much to the satisfaction of the governor, who toured the various travel agencies in the town earlier in the morning.
With the measures taken here in the Adamawa region as concerned the airport, the Kamrai rail station, the agencies, they are doing their best to sensitize the travelers.
The lockdown in Gaundare includes the closing of schools and advises avoiding gatherings of more than 50 persons.
Staying home all day as a measure to avoid the spread of COVID-19 seemed to be a difficult moment for children and parents in Yaoundé. Managing their daily demands and responding to professional preoccupations, some parents say is a new way of life they struggle to get used to. As Dorothy Are-Agbo tells us in the following report, parents and kids, despite the hardship of being quarantined, their safety is primordial.
Schools are closed, recreation parks have shut their doors by dusk, and homes have become playgrounds for kids. Quarantine and lockdowns are the new norm as cities try to contain the COVID-19. Most parents here are afraid to let their kids go outside even for a little while.
We have been trying to manage this, but actually it has not been easy. We are trying our best to make sure they stay away from these dangerous virus that has affect the globe.
During this period, parents have crafted schedules, learning time, indoor games, and some teachers are sending out e-learning assignments.
I have to stay home and read with all the disturbances and distractions. And it's not easy because I'm doing science and it needs a lot of concentration.
Meanwhile, other parents do a number of activities alongside their kids that facilitate active learning.
Your house chores, they're after you. Even if you enter the kitchen, they're after you, and you have to control them at the same time and do your chores at the same time. So it's a bit difficult, but at the same time, we profit to bring them closer to us. We profit to teach them some house chores, things that they will not do because they had to go to school all the time.
Like an endless snow day, this confinement period will allow families refocus and spend more time together.
Following the measures taken by government to preempt the disease. We now, when Epaule was in Yaoundé to find out how these measures can be put in place. Ewane?
Popular Yaoundé markets of Itudi, Mokolo, Mfundi, among others, were flooded this Saturday as households rush to purchase foodstuff.
From 12 to 3, market everywhere is closed. So we need to buy things very fast and buy many things to stock in the house because now there's also holidays for children that have been because of the virus.
Because of coronavirus, I don't want to make contact every day with people.
As preventive measures to avoid overcrowded markets to limit the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Since decision of Prime Minister, every customer come, many buy rice, soap, oil. You can see it's 1,150 for 1 liter. We respect all price.
Trade officials are on the field to control price hike. Meanwhile, the government has assured the population that there will be no food shortage in the markets.
Meantime, the president of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, Ahmad, has sent out words of congratulations and encouragement to the different presidents of football federations in Africa after the suspension of all CAF competitions and football championships in Africa due to the spread of the coronavirus. Ahmad, in his message, reassures African footballers of CAF's commitment to resume with activities immediately the situation gets better. Baldwin Sama completes the story.
His message to footballers and football actors in Africa, Ahmad acknowledges the difficult moments football is going through in the world and how different football championships and competitions have been suspended. We have taken some important decisions to limit risk and the spread of the virus. We have taken our responsibilities by suspending all competitions in Africa, such as the qualifiers for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations and the 2020 Africa Nations Championship Cameroon was supposed to organize from April 4 to April 25 this year. Ahmad says CAF's personnel have been urged to work from home until the end of this month of March, acknowledging how difficult this period will be. I know how disappointed many African football lovers are, but protecting the health of players, the public, and football officials is a priority. This health crisis will remain in the history. It's a joint effort, and as for me, I pray that Africa plays an exemplary role. CAF President expresses his condolences to bereaved families. We continue to monitor the situation in the world and in Africa, with particular with the World Health Organization, FIFA, and our other football partners. He ends by thanking football legends who have made available aid to help fight against the pandemic.
The Yaoundé PATYCHOU Vita, where sports fans carry physical activities, especially on weekends, has been temporarily shut down. This measure falls in line with government's decision to limit the spread of the coronavirus. Though some people could be spotted doing individual exercises around the premises, they, however, lauded the initiative for the close down. Romeo Kenny was at the PATYCHOU Vita, and this is what he brought back for the 7:30 news.
It is Saturday morning. No one is spotted within the premises of the Yaoundé PATYCHOU Vita for sport like it used to be the case until the coming of COVID-19. We meet closed gate at the sport arena. There is no coordinator to lead the physical exercises, as it is often the case. Offices are closed. The reason of this unusual absence is noticed on the street within the compound. Around the vicinity, some sport lovers have turned out to strengthen muscles, though not many as before.
It's a good idea because when a lot of people are together in one place, it's more risky to, for the contamination to take everyone. People have to know that we don't have to be a lot. No, I came from my house and I just go straight to Hotel Montfebe. And after that, we go back.
The measures to respect government's order of not gathering more than 50 persons in a sport arena are effectively being respected here at the PATYCHOU Vita in Yaoundé. And as you must have realized, even here at the fitness place of the sport infrastructure, the machines are empty. As you can see, I am here presently paddling one of them, and there are no persons presently here for sport.
A good one there, Kenny Romeo. Meantime, Catholic Christians in Douala have called on God to protect Cameroonians from the dreaded COVID-19. This was during a mass at the St. Peter and Paul's Cathedral, officiated by the Archbishop of Douala Diocese, His Lordship Samuel Kleda, and the presence of Littoral Governor Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadiboa. Meantime, other church leaders have intensified preventive measures in their places of worship to protect their Christians. Christian Fo tells us more from CRTV Littoral.
It is 12:30 p.m. at the St. Peter and Paul's Cathedral in Douala, and Christians are rushing in to take part in the Mass aimed at imploring God to intervene and protect Cameroonians from the deadly coronavirus.
We have taken several measures to protect our Christians. Upon entering the cathedral, hands are sanitized, greetings and other bodily contacts have been restricted.
A prayer session appreciated by Littoral's Governor Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadiboa, who believes that God's intervention is needed at a time like this.
Because this pandemic is also the one who can be fight not only by physical means but also by spiritual means.
At the Senegalese mosque in Ancien Troisième, the usual 1 p.m. prayers observed every Friday have been cancelled and the faithful called to pray in their houses. Sunday service in most churches will be divided into segments to avoid overcrowding.
We have reduced the number of people per service. The services that is going to carry a large population of people, we have suspended.
We will take also some hygiene measures at the entries.
The religious leaders in the city of Douala have thus called on faithful to watch and pray and also respect the health tips outlined by the government.
A Chinese building company based in Cameroon has donated 5 million CFA francs to the Yaoundé Central Hospital to enable officials of this health facility cater for patients affected by the coronavirus. The sum was handed in the presence of the director of the hospital, Professor Pierre-Joseph Fouda, who lauded the initiative, as Gerard Nanji tells us in the report that follows.
This consortium of 4 Chinese companies that deals in building materials could not stay indifferent to the ravaging effects of the COVID-19. They have come up with support to Cameroon government worth 5 million francs CFA to cater not only for the 3 COVID-19 cases in the Yaoundé Central Hospital, but also to assist the over 700 personnel taking care of the patients.
We could not stay aside. That's why we decided to come here today to try to give a hand so that virus can be sent off from our country.
Overwhelmed by such gesture, considered as timely, the director of the hospital was quick to express his appreciation to the consortium.
We appreciate this donation and thanked the China mainland company for this donation, who will help for the treatment of COVID-19 patients.
Coming 48 hours after government took stringent measures to curb the pandemic, the financial assistance has rekindled hope to alleviate the plight of victims of the dreaded disease.
Private hospitals in Cameroon are equally taking measures to refer any suspected case of the COVID-19 as stipulated by government to hospitals with competence to treat them. So far, all cases are being handled at the level of specialized units found only in public hospitals, reason why officials of private hospitals say they respect the government response mechanism to the latter. Cynthia Saptala went finding out how this is done and now reports.
In response to the coronavirus pandemic, public health officials had outlined an appropriate mechanism to handle cases of the virus. Suspected cases are tested at the Centre Pasteur Laboratory in Yaoundé and patients sent to the isolation unit set up in the Yaoundé Central Hospital. Apart from these measures, other public health institutions such as the Jameau Hospital was identified and equipped to receive more patients if need be. But as the virus continues to spread, private hospitals in the capital city have also been taking precautionary measures in the event an individual may show up at the premises with any symptoms.
At the entrance to the hospital, everybody is subjected to temperature test using the infrared thermometer. If the patient crosses, then we may not likely let the patient in, but rather just refer the patient to one of the treatment centers.
But officials at the Cameroon's Health Emergency Operations Center state that there is a standard procedure if the number of cases were to increase.
We have
already prepared to receive patients in all public health hospitals, military health institutions, and then the private sector. To this date, we have 150 to 200 beds available, so if there is any increase in cases, we are prepared.
The main message from health officials is that once any individual presents the symptoms of the COVID-19, it is safer to call 1510 or these numbers published by the Ministry of Public Health and follow the instructions.
Health authorities anticipate new cases of coronavirus. According to sources, the 27 confirmed cases now have interacted on close terms with the population, and following the trend of the disease, hundreds of people are likely to have been contaminated already. The population is also said to be far from respecting basic hygiene and social distancing rules, and so stand the risk of becoming COVID-19 victims too. Beatrice Losamba has coronavirus pandemic updates from Cameroon.
The news from confinement centers this Saturday afternoon was rather reassuring. The 27 cases confirmed Friday are relatively doing fine, sources say.
Among the 27, 2 are in a bad state. The others are moderately affected, not a cause for alarm.
Authorities directly concerned with the management of the disease, however, fear more cases are on the way.
If we already have 27 cases today, there is bound to be more cases pretty soon. And we closely following the disease will not be surprised if the COVID-19 numbers reach 100 or 150.
A fortnight after the first COVID-19 case was confirmed in Cameroon, the figures have been rising and now predicted to reach the 3-digit number. Arrangements are made for more confinement space in hospitals.
We plan to increase bed capacities in all public health concerns. we would extend to military hospitals and private clinics. Today in Yaoundé alone, we have been able to come up with about 150 beds.
Presently, the disease is still in the containment phase, and the population is seen as the principal actors in stopping its spread. Health authorities say people have not shown enough proof of responsible behavior. They visit crowded places, attend funerals, weddings, in spite of government measures to encourage social distancing.
Media men and women of the Cameroon Radio Television have been lectured on how to better disseminate information on basic hygiene practices as a way to stop the spread of the deadly coronavirus in Cameroon. The educative talk, organized by the Department of Programming at the CRTV Radio Broadcasting House in Longkak, was animated by health experts. Alice Mbey was there for the 7:30 news.
Exchange between the health experts from the Cameroon Baptist Convention Service and some media men and women from the state broadcaster focus on how journalists can better inform the public on the respect of basic hygiene rules.
The more we sensitize media people like you, the more we are sure the message will get out there. If we don't change the way we behave, we will facilitate the spread of the virus. And that is why it is important to quarantine everybody that has been infected. What are we trying to do? What is government trying to do is how to regimentate our behavior.
Ms. Yusimbi Tata, a staff from the CBC, drilled the attendants on what proper hand washing with soap and water or using hand sanitizers entails. Participants action.
As somebody who's in the communication sector, and we have been giving out information to the public concerning the coronavirus, I really thought I had heard it all about the coronavirus. But the most important thing I've taken out of this talk today is the washing of hands. We talk about the washing of hands all the time, but the demonstration of the washing of hands was so strong. I've never washed my hands the way it was demonstrated here today, and I think that from this evening it is going to make a difference.
The exchange was graced by the presence of the CRTV's Deputy Director General, Emmanuel Wongibe, flanked by other officials of the corporation. This move is intended to help the staff fight against the COVID-19 disease.
And away from COVID-19 news, onto this obituary, business magnate and mayor of Banjul is no more. Fotso Victor died yesterday in Paris at age 94. Among those who converged on his residence was Governor Awafonka Augustine of the West Region and the Senior Divisional Officer of the Konki. Ngo Henry tells us more from the West.
News of the death of the mayor of Pete Banjul and the business guru Fotso Victor caused consternation amongst family members, councillors of Pete Banjul and a cross-section of the population of the Pumonyo subdivision and the West region. They all took turns at his Banjul residence Friday night. Mayor Fotso Victor, who died at the age of 94, was also the president of the West Regional Branch of the United Cities and Councils of Cameroon. He died Friday in France. The West Chief Executive and the SDO for the Kunki, Donatien were among those at his residence.
It's a very shocking news, heartbreaking. This is a father, a patriarch that has given a lot for this nation, as well as has contributed a lot to the development of this region, this country, as well as his family. We are here to present our condolences to the family and to accompany the SDO and his team in what they are doing to ensure that all goes well this very sad night.
The official burial program is still to be made known.
And on to one of our lead stories, CPDM officials and supporters in the Northwest region have been assured of the support of the party's hierarchy as they get set for the March 22nd legislative election rerun in the region tomorrow. The assurance was given in Bamenda by the Secretary General of the CPDM party, Jean Kwete, during a working session with some party bigwigs of the region. Details with Ngonenge Shwabu Shari of our Northwest regional station in Bamenda.
The working session, which took place behind closed doors, brought together officials and members of the CPDM regional and divisional campaign teams, as well as candidates for the March 22nd legislative election rerun. Talking to the press shortly after their conclave, the representative of the CPDM campaign team leader for the Northwest region, Professor Paul Gogomo Mingo, explained why the Secretary General of the Central Committee, Jean Kwete, came calling.
The Secretary General came just to encourage us and to make us work harder. He came to tell us that the head of state, who is also the chairman, the national chairman of the party, is with us, and that he knows that we won on 9th February and we should do the same on 22nd March.
The campaign team leaders of the 4 divisions concerned with the election rerun have vowed to win again, as they did last February 9.
In Momo, all the teams are already on the field to say, come the 22nd of March, victory will be ours.
We did it right the first time. That's why we won. We'll just do the same thing and a little better this time, and we're sure to win.
We won before, we are going to win again.
6 political parties will be vying for 12 parliamentary seats in the legislative election rerun that will take place next Sunday in 10 constituencies of the Northwest region, found in Bui, Mezam, Momo, and Menchum divisions.
We stay in the Northwest region, where the pioneer mayor of Bamenda has promised inhabitants of the city a clean and organized town, more job opportunities, potable water, and much more during his 5-year mandate. Paul Achombang Tambeng made the pledge as he was officially installed by the senior divisional officer. We have details with Julius Neba in Bamenda.
Bang Tambeng takes over a city which is plagued with a host of challenges, ranging from a dirty city owing to its littered neighborhoods, streams, roads, and poor waste management, a poor potable water distribution system, lack of leisure facilities, and growing juvenile delinquency, largely favored by the ongoing socio-political crisis. Not leaving out the fact that Bamenda has been tagged a pothole city by some because of its dilapidated road network. Stating that he is aware of these development hurdles, the civil engineer presented a host of steps he and his team have already put in place in an effort to revert the situation within his 5-year mandate.
To clean the garbage we have in this city, ensuring that every household should have water, potable water. The road network, we will maintain the old ones and we're going to open new ones and erect better and modern structures in our city, as well as improve on our market.
Installing the pioneer mayor of the Bamenda City Council, the SDO for Mezam employed him to keep aside party leanings and serve the people of Abakwa town. As he took the oath of office and was decorated with some emblems of the state, Paul Tambeng, who also doubles as a man of God, encouraged all those who escaped the town to return home so that together they can build a beautiful, peaceful, and reconciled Bamenda.
And on to this lead story, about 100 tree seedlings destined to solve the problem of deforestation in Gomzap, a locality in the Nyanganso division of the Central region, has been offered to the community. The gesture is that of elites of Gomzap and falls in line with activities to mark the International Day of Forest. Cynthia Saptala tells us more.
The gesture underscored the importance of sustainable forest management. As the world commemorates the World Forestry Day, March 21st, the elites of Ngomezap in the Nyanganso division of the Central region embarked on a restoration mission, planting trees of medicinal value in the locality.
This zone used to be full of trees and people started exploiting. So we need to go back and being very friendly with the nature to stop the deforestation.
During the exercise headed by the Minister of Labour and Social Security, the people were also educated on the ills of deforestation and the contributions the forest makes in balancing life cycle on Earth. A message that should resonate with inhabitants of Ngomezap, a community known to consume the white caterpillar. Preserving its habitat is also a way of preserving this food delicacy.
And that's how we saw the 7:30 this evening. Thanks for watching. The news at 8:30 comes up with Atabadine Umar. Join me tomorrow, same time. I'll be there. And until then, it's bye from all of us on the 7:30 crew.